Welcome to the CRYPTID Investigations Podcast. Today we are broadcasting to you live. Well, not really. Pre-recorded. Yeah, it's pre-recorded. But I'm testing out my camera because I think it's got a FLIR on it. It's got a built-in FLIR. It's a Galaxy SX8 or Galaxy S8. And I think it's got a FLIR camera on it. It's actually totally dark out. Well, it's not totally dark, but the moon's out, and you can see a little bit. It's like you could actually get some pretty good detail. Oh, there's a cat right here. See if we can get the cat. Okay, get the cat. Can you see the cat? I caught some movement. I was trying to get the cat, but it's not picking up the cat. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, it disappeared again. Let's see. Gotta get a good angle on the phone. See if you can get at least a picture of it. See, you see, there's a living creature right there. It's what right by the wheelbarrow. Let's see how this turns out. If it turns out good, then it'll be on the next cryptid investigations video. But I might have to edit this out. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see how this turns out. I might have to review it now. But you see the cat moving? He's right in between the wheelbarrow. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, I lost him. Oh. I don't know what it is about this. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I don't know where it went. Well, what we saw in the beginning was some tree structures that I I discovered in the discrete location, and it's actually quite in the open. If you don't know what you're looking for, you would have missed it. And there has been some strange history in this area. There have been reports of somebody sitting in their car, and a man came and looked in the window, and the witness actually freaked out. And later on, oh, I had to mention this was in the winter time, by the way, and there was snow out. And when he went out and looked to see if where the person had gone, there was no footprints to be found. Very strange indeed. I've also heard from somebody in this area that this area might have been an Indian burial ground. I don't know the validity of this. I'd have to do some more research on that. But it's just a little patch of forest behind two buildings, and I've walked through this forest before, and it does give you a little bit of the creeps. I did discover a little pond back there, and it's just a little pool, not really a pond. Well, it's about, I say it was about 4 feet by 5 feet wide, and I just remember there was a lot of tadpoles and frogs in there, so it was a breeding ground for frogs. And there was a lot of mosquitoes back there, a lot of wild mushrooms growing. I don't know if any of them were actually edible or not. A lot of dead wood and rotted ones. And then there's one picture of a tree break that I had discovered at a public park, actually. There was a bike trail at that park, and this is actually Right outside of the city a little bit, and there's it's a vast forest area actually, and with the bike trail being or going through it, there's actually quite a lot of pedestrians and bike riders that take this trail, and we've gone in various parts of this bike trail, me and my kids, and it's not such a strange area, but for some reason this day I don't recall there being a storm that could cause all these tree breaks. There was tree breaks all over. There was actually the biggest tree break was actually a huge, huge part of a tree that had fell and blocked the trail, and we could not go through unless we climbed under the branch or ducked under. And it was especially hard for me because I had roller skates on, and there were so many branches on the ground I could not roller skate, and I had actually injured myself trying to go through there, which is not a very good idea, and I wouldn't recommend it. Um, I don't know if we should have kept on going. Something didn't click right, but my daughter wanted to ride the bike through the trail, so I was like, oh, let's go for it. Because we did see other bikers duck under and drag their bike through to go to the other side, and I was seeing so many of these. I didn't realize there were so many tree breaks until we left. Actually, when we first we got started packing up, getting everything back in the car, and I seen the one in the picture. I was like, yeah, this is not a big tree, but it would be pretty hard to break this tree if somebody. Well, I could see somebody probably climbing up there and um, climbing up there, putting their weight on there and breaking it if they were fairly average size human being. But it was more than one of them. It was. Now I only took the picture of the one because I didn't realize there was other ones until I was driving and it was too late. I could not take pictures of those ones. And as I left, I seen three or four more of these. It was actually in a wide open area right next to a road, and I wanted to go back and take pictures, but I something didn't something kind of it was I took it as a warning. I was like, oh, maybe we should not go back, but the city did clean it up in a couple of days, and we have returned to the area, and we have rode back on the bike trail, and so far I did not see anything strange. But this is a widely forested area that continues on for who knows how long. And there's a stream that goes through there, and I fished this stream before, and I actually walked along the stream, and I did not really get any creepy feelings, but you always have that weird feeling when you're in a forested area and there's nobody around. It, it doesn't really give you a crease, but you're on high alert, I suppose. I wasn't really, searching for anything weird, but I was actually scoping the stream for salmon or fish, any kind of fish, and I just kept walking through. But that was a couple years ago, and this is actually recently, as last summer. But I will, I'm, I will be returning to this area at night. I think I'm just gonna sit in my car in the parking lot and um, look out to see if I see any strange activity out there. Um, well, wish me luck on that. There's also that other area from the first pictures, and I actually have been sitting out there during the daytime, just watching to see if I see anything. A couple times I felt rocks being thrown at my car, but you just hear that click, and it's not really a rock, but it could just be something in the car. Sometimes cars click after you turn them off, and something in the engine clicks and it sounds like a rock hitting your car, but I did not see anything. I did not see any rocks really, but I heard it. That was the only strange thing, but it's not so strange actually. Quite common. Well, we will continue this investigation. Until next time, this has been the Underground Cryptid Investigations Podcast.